Well, will a demon barber or a national treasure be the Christmas blockbuster this weekend? To tell us which flick will fire up the weekend box office is Alex Costakis from HSX.com. Sorry if I mangled that. We got a lot of movies to talk about, but Alex, first tell me about National Treasure. Nicolas Cage's, the first one was his biggest movie ever. Will this one be even bigger and maybe beat Will Smith, maybe?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, you got a film here that is a highly anticipated sequel to the 2004 blockbuster National Treasure. Nicolas Cage, of course, stars. He's looking for missing pages from the diary of John Wilkes Booth, the assassinator of Abraham Lincoln. It's coming after a stellar weekend last weekend with I Am Legend and Chipmunks, and so the film is in 3,800 theaters, and so it is very wide in distribution, and that affects the share price on the exchange. And so we're seeing it as something that's going to do quite well.
Has the stock on the exchange moved up or down in recent weeks? How are people betting there?
Well, I mean, the stock IPO'd back in, I think it was 2004 at 50 Hollywood dollars, and it peaked at 180 Hollywood dollars earlier this year, earlier in September of this year, that is. And it's now at about 160 Hollywood dollars, so it has come down, but that's still reflecting about 57 million in opening weekend box office, which is a very good take.
Well, what about Sweeney Todd? This is Tim Burton and Johnny Depp teaming up once again. They did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but it is a musical and it's terribly bloody, right?
Yes, this one has a lot of blood, Dagen, I can tell you. First of all, it reminds me of Edward Scissorhands, of anything, but it's a Stephen Sondheim musical. It is very, very bloody. It is one of those films that's hard to really peg. I mean, it's one that has a lot of aspirations as far as the award season is concerned. Johnny Depp is fabulous. He sings very well in it. It's the kind of film that will have broad appeal, but as far as the box office is concerned for this weekend, it's fighting against I Am Legend and Chipmunks and National Treasure for space in the theaters. And it's somewhat of a limited release. It's not wide in that it's only 1,200 theaters.
What about Charlie Wilson's War? You have Julia Roberts and Tom Hanks, their first pairing ever. But again, it's about war, which has not done well. What do you think?
Well, okay, it is about a war. It's about a covert war. It's about the U.S. Backing of the Mujahideen in Afghanistan back in the 80s. But it's really about political intrigue, and so that's why this film is getting a lot of critical acclaim. In fact, it's been nominated for 5 Golden Globes, which is a great, testament to the film itself. Starring Tom Hanks, Julia Roberts, what a matchup, definitely. The film has a lot of color in it. It's one that I think will have long legs in the box office, appeals to an older audience, not the kind of audience that goes out there the first night or the second night, but the kind of audience that will go and see the film over the course of the next few weeks. So we see the film doing quite well in box office. The opening weekend will be about 13 to 14 million or so, but again, long legs for this one.
Yeah, and you've got Mike Nichols and Aaron Sorkin as the writer, and then Philip Seymour Hoffman, apparently Oscar-worthy performance. So I'm going to check it out.
You bet. I mean, he just fits right into that role. He plays a CIA agent, and he is just stellar.
Stellar. We'll see if any of those flicks are stellar at the box office. We'll check back in with you next week. Alex Costakis from Hollywood Stock Exchange. Alex, thanks.